Hi, Joe from livetastic.ca. Today's video is all about the truth. And the reason I picked this topic is that it's time that we all start being truthful. It's time right now to start telling the truth. It's time to be honest with ourselves and to start being honest with other people. Because we're kind of at this tipping point, I guess, You got a lot of people waking up out there, but there's still a lot of people sleeping. And I'm sorry, guys, but you got to wake up. You got to start being truthful and honest with yourselves. You're going to have to start looking inside yourselves first, and making sure that you know who you are, really know who you are. Because most of us, we've created a persona. Our ego is basically a whole bunch of lies that we tell ourselves. We've got to start peeling back those lies and those layers and being honest with ourselves and really digging around and looking at what needs to change. First with ourselves. And, I'm busy. I got lots of people who I'm trying to help right now. A lot of people contact me. It seems that the world's waking up. And people are, they become stuck they see the cycles that they're stuck in. They see these negative cycles that they're in. They see how they've been living their lives with just this, living in their past, feeling guilty and reliving all these negative things that happened and feeling the full emotions of it today. All those horrific experiences and just reliving and feeling it every day of their lives. Or they're looking at the future, which has not happened yet. But most people, it seems, feel that the future's either going to be a catastrophe or it's going to be somehow better than today, because people aren't conscious now. They don't understand that now is the only moment that exists. So they're back in the past, reliving old emotions that really is not serving anyone. Stuff that they need to just get over and forgive, If you've done something bad and you've learnt from it, the person that exists now is of a higher consciousness than the person that did that. And you're not going to go back in time and do it again. And you're not going to do it in the future. So why beat yourself up about it? You had to do that to learn. That's what we have to do. We have to make mistakes to learn. If you can take, responsibility for your actions and they were wrong, then you've grown. Then you've made a mistake and you've learned. That's how we grow. That's how we evolve as human beings. But no, we've been told that we have to feel ashamed of everything we've ever done. People want that. People actually seem to want you to feel ashamed for the things that you've done. But they're not looking at themselves and they're not being truthful with themselves. Because the likelihood is they've done similar things in their past. But, it's blame that guy. Point out what they've done. Makes you feel better, doesn't it? When you don't have to take this responsibility. Oh, much worse than me. Yeah. We lie to ourselves all the time. And we need to start telling ourselves the truth. We need to start looking inside and understanding that we're not perfect people. We need to understand that we're just humans and that we fuck up all the time and we make mistakes. And the way you grow is to accept that, to forgive yourself, to understand that you've moved past that, and to look at yourself every day, to be conscious of everything that comes out your mouth and every thought that comes up in your head. To just take the time to start looking for the truth. Because everything is all about the truth. You have to be honest. You have to be truthful. It's the cornerstone of trust. And we're not honest. We lie all the time or exaggerate, No need. And then there's the fact that we can't be honest with others because you might hurt their feelings. We need to grow as a human race. There's a bad program got in there somewhere. We all have this false opinion of who we are. We lie to ourselves every single day We lie to people around us every single day. Like we're living in a false world where nothing's real, where nobody knows the truth, it seems. And there are people waking up. I see it seems to be happening much, much faster. It seems that there are lots of people waking up at the same time. I'm a busy man. Lots of people are needing help. And this is what I'm starting with. This is how you begin your journey. You have to stop living in the past. You have to forgive your past. You have to understand that you feel an emotion, something that happened from the past that's unpleasant. What are you doing to yourself? Why are you doing that to yourself? Why are you doing that? You don't have to. You can feel good. You can remember you made a mistake, and you can remember that you've grown from it and that you'll never do that again. And thank that mistake. Whew, I made that mistake so that I became a better person, and I didn't do it to more people. Everything you've ever done, if you can take responsibility and forgive yourself, we move on. Let's go. Future, don't need to be there right now. Now is all that matters. You can feel good today, and you can understand that out of the thousands of terrible things that you convince yourself throughout your life that are going to happen tomorrow that never ever did, like all that time, you've sat there shivering in bed with that feeling knots in your stomach, feeling sick, because tomorrow this terrible thing is definitely going to happen. Never does. Really, really rarely, you know? And we do it all the time. We're doing it to ourselves constantly. That's the truth. We lie to ourselves. We've got ourselves stuck in this, like it is a matrix. We're just, and it's all in our head. You know, we can have a good life right now. We can start telling the truth to ourselves. We can look at ourselves. We can stop gossiping about others. We can stop pointing the fingers at others. We can stop blaming everyone else and start taking full responsibility for everything ourselves. And see what happens with society. See what happens. You know? And you need to be truthful with other people. I've been told so many times, oh, you can't say that. Can't be that direct. What are you doing? Like I'm nuts for being honest with people. Like I'm nuts for being honest with people. You know, the truth often offends. I get it. But that's all I want to hear now. I want everyone to be truthful with me. Because we're not perfect. We don't see ourselves often. You know, do you want to be a better person? I do. So start being honest with yourself. Tell the truth. Stop exaggerating. Some people need to hear the truth, otherwise they will never change. You know, you might have a friend out there that you just really want to tell them something, but you couldn't do it because it hurt their feelings and they might not speak to you again. You know, someone that blames everyone else for their shit, someone that can't see that they're responsible, and that if they made a small change or a tweak in their life would be much happier. You know, maybe that person's not a good person for them, and they might want to hear that. You might need to tell them. You know, maybe someone needs to make a lifestyle change in order to be around for their kids. You know, be the good friend. They might get offended and hurt for a second, but why are you doing it? Because you really, really care about them, not because you want them to push you away. You know, you gotta help them understand that you're doing. We've got to understand that it's imperative. We just, call a friend today, and tell them that you want them to be bluntly honest and truthful with you, and listen to what they have to say and take notes. You know why? Because the world's going to be a much better place. You know, there are traits that you have that you just don't want to see. And your life can become much better if you knew about these traits. If you've got negative traits and people aren't responding well to you, your life's probably not going that well. it's imperative that you know how you're expressing yourself. And I didn't, you know, I didn't at all for a very long time. I was on medication that turned me into a Nazi, you know. I no one could get a word in edgeways. I had to tell, you know, because I knew the truth, and everything I had to say was important, you know. And then you go through that. You start being truthful with yourself. You start asking people, and you start listening, and yeah, you go through a bit of a rough patch, but you come out the other end, and everyone in your life is going to thank you for it. Like, that's how simple self-improvement is. It's just truth. It's being honest with yourself. If there's a negative trait, you change it. The people around you are going to respond differently to you. Suddenly, you've got the interview, you've got the job. Suddenly, you've got a whole bunch of friends. Suddenly, you've got a girlfriend. Like, all because you wanted to know who you were, you wanted to improve yourself, and you made changes. And if everyone goes through this process, everyone that's capable of it, we're going to be living in a much better world. We've got to understand that, you know, if you care about someone, you've got to tell them the truth. You have to tell them the truth. If it's something that will change their life for the better, just try it. Just explain to them that's what you want to do. Or do it yourself first and then tell everyone else how you did it. You know? Anyway, it's enough lectures. Have a nice evening.